स्मृतापि तरुणादपं करुणया हरन्ती नृणाम् अभङ्गुरतनुत्पुषां बलयिता शतैर्विद्युतां कलिन्दगिरिनन्दिनी तटसुरद्रुमालम्बिनी मदीयमतिचुम्बिनी भवतु कापि कादम्बिनी. um, okay, we finished with an introduction of sthai bhava. यदा तु प्रधानपोषार्थं सोऽपि बहुविभावजः कृतः तदा तु रसालङ्कारः इत्यादि बोध्यम्. So whenever rasa becomes an angam to something else which is pradhanam, then it is called rasavad alankara, and there are a couple of varieties there also. And he takes an example from the Dhvanyaloka and gives this sentence: pradhane anyatra vakyarthe yatrangantu rasadayah kavye tasmin alankaraha rasadihi iti me matihi. So wherever the pradhanam is anyatra vakyarthe, something else is pradhanam, then rasa becomes an angam, it becomes secondary. Then we have rasadi alankara. Now he moves on to defining each sthai bhava. Sthai bhavan kramena lakshayan. So adu shringara rasam. शृङ्गाररसस्थायी भावस्तु अत्र रतिः एव. सो स्त्रीपुंसयोः अन्योन्य आलम्बनः प्रेमाख्यः चित्तवृत्तिविशेषः रतिः स्थायी भावः. सो स्त्रीपुंसयोर् अन्योन्य आलम्बनः, if it is between a man and a woman, and if it is three आलम्बनः यदि भवेत् तर्हि पुरुषस्य रतिः एव भावः. यदि पुरुषः आलम्बनः भवति तर्हि स्त्रियः रतिस्थायी भावः भवति. So that's how, that is the bhavam in a woman's mind is based on, or it takes the support of a man. Looking at a man, she feels that rati, she feels that passion, a premakhya chitta vrittihi. So stri pumsayoho anyonya alambana, each one of them become the alambana for the other person. So nayika nishtaha ratihi nayaka vishayakaha, nayaka nishtaha ratihi nayika vishayaha. Premakhyaha priti paryayah. So it is an affection, it starts off with affection. So tadrisha chitta vritti visheshaha eva ratihi. Guru, Devata, Putradi, Alambanaha tu Vyabhichari. So there can also be an affection towards a guru, towards a Devata, towards one's child. These he takes it as Vyabhichari bhava, he does not take it as rati. Whereas Sahitya Darpanatla ninga padikumbodhu, I think if you have, I don't know, you don't have Sahitya Darpanam. Adile he takes it as a different Vatsalyam iti anyaha rasaha abdinudra. So he doesn't take the stance of Rasagangadhara, who says that putradi alambanaha chet, it is only a vyabhichari bhava. There is no Shringara rasam cannot come there. Shringara rasa can only be a passion between a man and a woman. That's how it is. Okay. Love, adada. Putradi viyoga maranadi janma avaiklavyakhyaha chittavritti visheshaha shokaha. Sorry, vaiklavyakhyaha. Janma vaiklavyakhyaha. This is a separate word here.
My book separate. My book has Maranadi Janma separately and...
Okay, then that is how it should be. Shoka is the second, which is the Karunastayi Bhavaha, and Shoka is grief, which is a Chittavritti Visheshaha. Again, it is a form of a Chittavritti, the mind, thought. Vaiklavyakhyaha, Vaiklavyam nama Shokam. Grief nale vaikla vikalatangrolya, adadu velavelathu poi namakku eduvume panna theriyadu. Yatra tu indriyanam prasaktihi eva na vartate athava indriyanam tatra karma kidrisham kartavyam iti tadrisha jnanam yatra na vidyate tattu vaiklavyam vikalatvam. So you don't understand what to do. That sort of a helplessness is that shoka, and it can come, it arises from janma, it arises from putradi viyoga, separation from son, or maranam, or any sort of death. So from there you can have shoka. Stri pumsayostu viyoge Jivitatva Jnana. Now he differentiates between Vipralambhakhya Rasaha and Vipralambha Shringara and Karuna. Sthai Bhava Shokaha. So what is the difference between Vipralamba Shringara and Karuna Rasam? Stri Pumsayoho Viyoge Jivitatva Jnana Dashayam Vaiklavya Poshitayaha Ratehe Eva Pradhanyat Shringaraha Vipralambakyaha Rasaha. Vaiklavyam tu Sanchari Matram. There is Shoka even in Vipralamba Shringara. So Shringara is of two types, Sambhoga and Vipralamba. Sambhoga is love in union, Vipralamba is love in separation. So in Vipralamba, when people are separated, when two people are separated, there is a shokam there. So is that shoka the same as our Karunastayi Bhava which he has described here? Tarhi, no, it is different. Vaiklav, here shoka becomes just a Vyabhichari Bhava in a Stripum Viyoga. Stripum Sayoho Viyoge. When there is a separation between a man and a woman, in that position, Jivitatva Jnana Dashayam, if there is a Jnanam, if there is a knowledge that the other person is surviving, he is just separated because of Shapam, I am unable to go to him, illa business karanamaga, people move away from their wives. There is a possibility, there is also the knowledge that he is alive. There is no knowledge of death here. Okay, there is an expectation. Sapekshakatvam vartate. There is an apeksha that we will meet again. So Vaiklavya Poshitayaha Ratehe eva Pradhanyat. Rati becomes important here, being added by grief. Yeah, and then distance intensifies the feelings. Yeah. When you are separated, it actually intensifies the feeling of love. The Vaiklavya Poshitayaha Ratehe. Rati becomes nurtured by the Shokam or Vaiklavyam, and that Rati is Pradhana. It is important. Hence, it is called Shringara Vipralambakyaha Rasaha. It is Shringara Rasa, but it is termed as Viraha Hetuka Vipralambha. That's all. Okay. Vaiklavyam tu, but what is the status of Shoka here? It is only Shoka becomes Pradhanam and it becomes a Sthayi Bhava in Karuna Rasam. Whereas in Vipralamba Rasam, Shoka becomes the Vyabhichari Bhava. Okay? Just as how we saw here in Rati, if it is Tri Pumsayoho Premakhyaha, then it is Rati Sthayi Bhava. If it is Matraputra Prema, Athava Guru Shishya Prema, Devata Bhakta Prema, then that Rati is a Vyabhichari Bhava. In the same way here also, if the Shoka is between Stri Puman and there is an expectation of again joining, then it is Pradhanam, so it is Vipralambakyaha. It becomes the Shoka becomes a Vyabhichari Bhava, it is not Pradhanam. Shringara, Rati becomes Pradhanam. So Rati is still a Sthayi Bhava in Vipralamba Shringara. Okay. So Karunam, Sthayi Bhava is Shoka. Vipralamba Shringara, Sthayi Bhava is Rati, Vyabhichari Bhava is Shoka. This is one step down. Mritatva Jnana Dashayam tu Rati Poshitasya Vaiklavyasya iti Karuna eva. If there is a knowledge that he is dead, if the other person is gone, Stripum Viyoge eva. There is a separation between the man and the woman, but the woman suddenly hears the news that the man is dead. Then, even though it is Rati Poshitam, still it becomes Karuna Rasam. The Shoka takes Pradhanatvam and Rati becomes an Anga to that Shoka. Rati is the Vyabhichari Bhava. Shokam becomes Sthayi Bhava. It leads to Karuna Rasam. Tatraiva Vishesham Aha. So yada tu Satyapi Mritatva Jnane Devata Prasadadina Punarujjivana Jnanam Kathanchit Syat Tada Alambanasya Atyantika Nirasa Bhavat Chirapravasaiva Vipralambayeva Nasa Karunaha. This is very specifically having Kadambari in mind. In Kadambari, Mahashweta episode, Kapinjala Pundarika. Pundarikan vandu, he is dead. He is waiting for Mahashweta. She doesn't come. And he loses his life at that point of time. And then Mahashweta arrives. he sees him dead. Okay, so there is a karunam there. But then an ashariri comes up and says, a shariri vak comes there, and it says that it tells Vaishampayana to hold on to the body, and tells Mahashweta also that Devata Prasadena he will again come to life. And even despite that, she is separated from him, even though he is dead here. Mritatva jnane satyapi. Even though there is the knowledge that he is dead. Devata prasadadina punarujjivana jnanam katanchit syat. There could be a punarujjivanam. That is, there could be a resuscitation. Yeah? So he could come alive again because of Devata prasadam, because of the anugraham of some Devata. Iti syat. That could be such a situation. In that case also, it is not karunam. Because tad alambanasya atyantika nirasa abhavat. There is no complete destruction of the alambana bhava, who is the nayaka. Even though the nayaka is dead right now, the knowledge is there that he is going to come back to life because of Devata Prasadam. So which means atyantika na complete, total destruction illa. Abhavat, atyantika nirasa abhavat alambanasya ityukte tasya nayakasya tu athava nayikayaha yah kopi athava ya kopi mrita syat tam alambya eva tatra ratihi bhavet. Tarhi alambanasya atyantika nirasa abhavat satu atyantatvena mritaha iti nasti punaha ujjivayati. Tasmat chira pravasa iva. It is as if he has gone for a long haul. Yeah, some chira pravasaha. He has gone for a vacation, 6-month vacation, or he is staying in Dubai and we are in Madras. That's how it is. So he is not going to come back for 1 year until his visa is expired or whatever. So it is like a chira pravasa eva, vipralambaha eva. It is like vipralamba only. It is not karuna rasa. Yeah. Yatha Chandrapedam prati Mahashweta Vakyeshu. Mahashweta Pundarika Maranajnane. I'll read from the Vyakhyanam so we know the situation here. Pundarika Maranajnane api. Even though Mahashweta knows that Pundarika is dead, Gaganachari Vachanat. Some Siddha Purusha is moving around in the Akasham and he says, Punaf Prayujjivana Jnanasya.
I have a pratyujjivana.
Sorry, pratyujjivanam da, correct. Punaf pratyujjivana jnanasya, because he is going to come back again to life. Jananath, because that knowledge is there. Alambana atyantika vichcheda abhavat. The alambana vibhava pundarika has not completely gone away. Yatha kadambari prabandhe mahashweta uktishu vipralamba shringara eva rasaha. Tatha atrapi ityabhiprayah. So just as how Mahashweta Polambara, our Chandrapedanta poi, she will just constantly lament about her situation. He is gone, I should have gone there and met him, and he decided to let go of his life. So all those words are only Vipralamba Shringara because she has the knowledge that he is going to come back. Iha matantaram. There is another matantaram here where kechittu rasantarameva atra karuna vipralambakhyam icchanti. So some people say that this is a completely different rasa. That darpanam nutu or Sahitya darpanam. Yeah, Sahitya darpanathla adhan sonnene. In Sahitya darpana he doesn't take only 8 rasas or 9 rasas. He says any new rasas can come up. I can have a karuna vipralamba rasam, vatsalya rasam. It depends. If there is so much of pariposhakatvam there, then I can have a new rasa here. So, in Sahitya Darpanam, he says, Yunoho ekatarasmin gatavati lokantaram punarlabhye. If among two youth, one has gone to lokantaram gatavati, if he has gone to another world, punarlabhye, if there is a possibility that he might come again, vimanayate yad ekaha, if one person, vimanayate, one person is alone feeling very sad, then that rasam is called Karuna Vipralambakya. He gives a new name for that. Okay. But he just notes this as a point, that's all. Kechittu evam icchanti ityeva. Asmakam tu tatha nasti. According to Jagannatha Pandita, he believes that it is only Vipralambha. It is not Karuna Vipralambha or any new name. So in ways, actually, Jagannatha Pandita is a more traditionalist. He follows tradition that way. Next is Shantarasa. Nitya Nitya Vastu Vichara Janma Vishaya Viraga Akhyaha Nirvedaha. Nirveda is the Sthayi Bhava for Shantarasam. And that Shantarasam is, Nirveda is Viraga, Vishaya Viragaha iti Anyat. You can also call it as a Vairagyam or a detachment from Vishayas. That is the objects of the world, which are Anitya Vastu. So Nityanastu Vichara Janma, Nitya Nitya Vastu Vichara Janma. How does this come about? How do we get this Vairagyam? We derive that Vairagyam from analyzing Nityam and Anitya Vastu in the world. So Nitya Nitya Vastu Vicharena Janma Utpadyate Yaha Viragaha Saha Eva Nirvedaha. Okay. This detachment that we arise, that we get to by analyzing the Nitya Vastu and Anitya Vastu, that is called Nirveda, which is the Sai Bhava. Griha Kalahajadi to Vyabhichari. வீட்டுல சண்டை போட்டுட்டு நான் வீட்டுக்கு இனிமே வரமாட்டேன்னு வெள்ள கிளம்பினான்னு அர்த்தம். அது என்ன பெரிய வைராக்கியமா என்ன? அதெல்லாம் இல்லை. அது விசாரி பாவம் தான். அது ஒன்றும் பெரிய சாந்தரசம் இல்லை. அதுக்கு சொல்றேன். Some sort of a kalaham, there is a quarrel at home. So you immediately feel, oh, I have completely detached myself. I don't have any attachment towards the people in my family. And then you walk away in a huff, in anger. That is not Nirveda Sthayi Bhava. It will not give rise to it. It is more like a Hasya Rasam for me, because it's only a Kshanika Nirveda. It's not a Sthayi. Adha solra. Kshanikaha Nirveda. It's very momentary detachment that you have. It's not a permanent detachment that is there in the mind. Hence, it is only a Vyabhichari Bhava. Next one is Krodha. Krodha Sthayi Bhava. Guru Bandhu Vadhadi Parama Aparadha Janma Prajwalanakyaha Krodha. Krodha is a Prajwalanakyaha. That is Deeptatvam. There is a luster in it. Luster, it's very, very, and the words are also Prakashatmakam. The Bhavam is also Prakashatmakam. You immediately feel incensed by it. You are also angered by it. That is Prajwalanakyaha Krodha, and it comes from Guru Aparadha, Bandhu Vadhadi, Parama Aparadha Janma. So either Guru Vadham, Bandhu Vadham, or from some great mistake, Aparadham, crime that has been created, upon seeing that the other person has this Krodham. Just as how in Veni Samhara, Ashwattama has this Krodham because his father was beheaded, which is not the right thing to do. So it is a big crime that he saw, and that becomes the Alambana Vibhava for his Krodha Sthayi Bhava. Yeah. Now he differentiates between Raudra Rasa Sthayi Krodha and Vyabhichari Krodha. It can be two types. Like that's what he's been saying. Sthayi Bhava can also be a Vyabhichari in certain cases. So Ayantu Paravinashadi Hetuhu Kshudra Aparadha Janmatu Purusha Vachana Sambhashanadi Hetuhu Ayameva Amarshakhyaha Vyabhichari Bhavaha. If there is a great crime that has been created and you feel like killing the other person or destroying the other person, then it is Krodha Sthayi Bhava. If it is a Kshudra Aparadha Janma, Paravinashadi Hetuhu, it becomes a reason for destroying others, then it is Sthayi Bhava. If it is born out of a small Aparadham, very less crime, it is not a great crime that you have to be beheaded for it. Tathanasti. Kshudra Aparadha Janma. It comes from a very small, adavadu ortha humiliate பண்ணிட்டான் அந்த மாதிரி, avagnya, parabhava, ityadi Kshudra Aparadha Janma. Ksudra aparadha janma. If it is born out of a very small crime like humiliating others, then what happens is it only is responsible for purusha vachana, sambhashana, ityadi. Asambhashanam not talking, or purusha vachanam irukkanam. Sorry. It should be Parusha Vachanam, not Purusha Vachanam. Inge Purusha Vachanam na potrukar, but change it to Parusha Vachanam. Katu Ukti.
Parusha Vachanam only.
Very good. So Parusha Vachanam, Katu Uktihi. Very harsh words, Asambhashanam. Pesave maten solli, you turn your face away and you don't talk for several years. We have some two people in our family always who don't talk to each other for many years. That is there in every family. No? These are all small aparadam, some crime. He told me this, I told him this. This is just a vyabhichari bhava. It is not a krodha sthayi bhava. So ayameva amarshakhyaha. Amarshaha iti kaschana vyabhichari bhavaha vartate sayeva. The next one is utsaha, virasthayi bhava. Parakrama danadi smriti janma aunnatyakyaha utsaha. Aunnatyam, you think very highly. There is a high attitude in our mind when we think about some action of another person. We don't have the idea that I have to destroy the other person, but we have the thought that, oh, he displayed such a great action. Parakrama, ripunam parakrama, adadu aratim bahvamanyatan irukku. Raghuvamsham 12th sargatla aratim bahvamanyatan. When Rama faces Ravana, he says swamukhair architeshwaram aratim bahvamanyata. When he thinks about Ravana, he thinks of the great qualities of Ravana and actually respects Ravana there. That is utsaha. So he gets that enthusiasm to fight with the worthy enemy. So parakrama, shatrunam parakramam vichintya, tat parakramena yaha utsahaha janitaha bhavati, satu utsahaha virasthayi bhavaha. Tatha danadi smriti janma. Even if you do some shlaghya karma, some work which is praiseworthy, like performing, giving charity, like Karna, for example, the way he just cut up his, Kavacha Kundalam and gave it to Indra. That is a danam. Thinking about it itself will give you a thought that, what a great-minded person Karna is. That utsaham is also virasthayi bhava. Okay? Anya,
what is that? Aunnatyakya?
Aunnatyamna chittasya aunnatya. Manasula vandu oru perimidam varudilla.
Or greatness.
Unnati. Greatness. Unnatehe bhavaha aunnatyam. Unnati. So, greatness. அப்படியே ஒரு பெருமிதத்தோட நம்ம அப்படி பாக்கறச்சு அடாடா என்னமா பண்ணிட்டான் அப்படிங்கிற மாதிரி அதுதான் அந்த சித்த உன்னத்தியம் உற்சாக. There can also be an utsaha to just start a work. Aramba shurakalu dakshinatyahaanu ஒரு ஸ்டேட்மெண்ட் இருக்கு. Southern people are always, they start off very well அப்படின்னு. அந்த உற்சாகம் is just a sthayi bhava. It is not Veera Rasa Sthayi Bhava. Sorry, it is just a Vyabhichari Bhava. It is not a Veera Rasa Sthayi Bhava. That's all. Okay.
These Sthayi Bhavas, when they come as Vyabhichari Bhava, do they have different names? Maybe some Paryaya Pada?
For some, yes. For some, no. Like for Krodham, he mentioned that Amarsha is a Vyabhichari Bhava. Amarshangartha is given in the 33 Vyabhichari Bhavas. But there is also a mention in Natyashastra where he says these 33 are not the only Vyabhichari Bhavas. There can be other as and when the situation demands. So which means all of these are also called Rati Vyabhichari Bhava. Utsaha Vyabhichari Bhava. Apdidan solrom. Namba. Nirveda Vyabhichari Bhava. Ityeva. Just as how Nirveda Glani Shankakyaha Abdindane, the 33 Vyabhichari Bhavas start off. So even though Nirveda is mentioned as a Vyabhichari Bhava, the reverse also happens. It goes to the status of a Sthayi Bhava when it is in Shantarasam. Appo it gets the same name only. Yeah. The next one is Adbhutasya Sthayi Bhavaha Vismayaha. Alaukika Vastu Darshanadi Janma Vikasakyaha Vismayaha. So Vikasa is, இது வந்து ஒரு மலர்ச்சி அப்படிங்கிறோம் இல்லையா? பிரபுல்ல மனசஹா புல்லம் bhavati, manasastu tatra vikasaha bhavati iti chet katham alaukika darshanena. There are some vastu or some people's work which is beyond the world that gives us a happiness, and at the same time it is also manasasya vistaraha bhavati sayeva vismayaha. So it is a surprising thing. Surprise, oh, it is very surprising appdin solradilla. There should be a feeling that comes from the mind saying it's so beautiful, or it is something that is beyond what you see in daily affair. Then it is called vismaya. Okay.
Ji, I have another doubt. Only for this Rati Sthayi Bhava, he used the word Chitta Vritti Visheshaha. For all the other Sthayi Bhavas, he did not use Chitta Vritti Vishesha. Yeah, why is it so?
It is. Our repeat panla. It is a Chitta Vritti Visheshaha. If you see the Vyakhyanam, he says Vritti Visheshaha. Chitta Vritti Visheshaha da ella edathilum. It is a Vritti Visheshaha. It is a mind. Repeat panna vendame nuttu irukar avladha. Next is hasa. Hasya rasasya sthayi bhavaha hasaha. This is also similar to vismaya, but the cause is different. See, the cause in vismaya is alaukika vastu darshanam, something that is beyond the world. Whereas here, vak angadi vikara darshana janma. So, yaru konangitanamngrom illo konashta pandrangro adilirundu varakodiyadu hasa. So vikaram, there is some kind of a vikara or anyatha karanam which happens by either in vak, in the words, or angam, in their actions, or in their vesha, etc. So bhushanam, there can be some kind of a mismatch in all these things which give rise to comedy. So that also gives a pleasure to the mind. So vikasakya vritti visheshaha, hasya. Next is bhayam. Bhayam is the sthayi bhava. Vyagra darshanadi janma, arising out of seeing some wild animals. Parama anartha vishayakaha. It also indicates that an anartham is going to happen. It has its vishaya as an anartham. Anarthamna, something that is undesired. Yeah, some bad thing is going to happen. The moment you see a tiger, you know the tiger has not come here to prey to you, or it has not come to play with you. Both are not possible. The moment you see the tiger, you know it is going to bring about a great disaster. So, parama anartha vishayakaha. Immediately you have a vikalata in your mind. That is, you cannot function. Very similar to shokam, but the cause is different. Vaiklavyakyaha eva chittavritti visheshaha atrapi vartate. Bhayam iti sthayi bhavasya. It is the same chittavritti vishesha, but then the hetu becomes different. The hetu there is maranam. Here it is krura jantunam darshanam tadvara maranam bhavet iti tatra chittavrittihi jnanam. Okay. Parama anartha vishayakatva abhavetu saha trasaha vyabhichari bhavaha. If you do not have in your mind that there is going to be a big calamity or someone is going to die, tadrisha manovrittihi na vidyate chet. If you do not have that sort of a, it's just a simple bhayam. In the sense, you are going to write an exam. You know that it is an exam which is not going to affect your career. But still you feel a little bit of fear. But it is not a parama anartham. Maybe I will fail, maybe I have to write it again. That's all you have. That sort of a thing is just called trasaha. It is a vyabhichari bhava. It is not a sthayi bhava. Yeah, only if a tiger is chasing you, it is bhayam. If it is just exam fear, it is trasaha vyabhichari bhava. Yeah. Aparetu औत्पातिक प्रभावः त्रासः स्वापराधद्वारा उत्थम भयम इति भयत्रासयोः भेदम आह. See, some people say that there is this difference. He is just noting that difference. That's all. Trasa and bhayam can be different in this manner. Outpatikam is some natural disaster that occurs. If a natural disaster occurs like thunder, lightning, storm, hurricane, any feeling that comes from a natural disaster, that is called trasa, which is a vyabhichari bhava. If it arises from an aparadham that one has done to another person, then it is bhayam. So this is the difference between bhaya and trasa. Okay. This is a difference that some people have given. So he is noting the difference between bhayam and trasa. The last one is jugupsa. Kadarya vastu vilokana janma vichikitsakhyaha chittavritti visheshaha. Vichikitsa is samshaya, doubt. So there is a doubt about some vastu that you are looking at, and that vastu is actually kutsitam. It gives rise to some sort of a garha, the disgust. Kadarya vastu, kadarya is something which is in a very, very pitiable state, but at the same time you are looking it as virkattakka oru vishayam. You know, you don't want to have any association with it at all. So kadarya vastu vilokana janma, as soon as you look at some sort of a vastu in this manner, there is a doubt in your mind that arises, or it is, you can also say, doubt na, you should I touch it or not? What will this do to me? That sort of a doubt is there in your mind immediately when you look at some vastu which is very bad to look at. That sort of a chitta vritti vishesha is jugupsa. You are in a doubt whether to accept that object or not. You don't want to accept it because it is jugupsitam. It is garhitam. Okay. एवं एषां स्थायी भावानां लोके तत्तन्नायकगतानां यानि आलम्बनतया उद्दीपनतया वा कारणत्वेन प्रसिद्धानि तानि येषु नाट्ययोर् व्यज्यमानेषु विभावशब्देन व्यपदिश्यन्ते. So, esham sthayi bhavanam tattannayaka gatanam. Now he defines vibhava, anubhava and vyabhichari bhava, and first he defines vibhava here. Okay, Idvana, maybe we will start from this next class. Okay, so these are the sthayi bhavas which are there in the nayaka, tattannayaka gatanam. Yani alambanataya uddipanataya karanattvena prasiddhani. Those which are all uddipanam or alambanam and become the karanam for that sthayi bhava which is there in the nayaka. Tani yeshu kavya natyayoho vyajyamaneshu. Those when these are known in the kavyam and natakam. Kavya natyayoho vyajyamaneshu satsu. When those sthayi bhavas are being teshu iti, eshu or teshu is sthayi bhaveshu. When those sthayi bhavas which are there in the nayaka and they become revealed vyajyamaneshu in a kavyam and natakam because of the uddipanam or alambanam which is present in the kavyam in the form of a cause. Karanatvena tatra prasiddhani yani vartante yani atra sthayi bhaveshu vyajyamaneshu satsu tani karanataya vidyamanani vartante. When we realize that, oh, this is a sthayi bhava, but why does this sthayi bhava come about? Because there is a karanam there. What is the karanam there? Something is an alambanam, something is an uddipanam. So what are those things? Those are termed by the word vibhava. Okay, vibhava shabdena vyapadishyante. So that vibhavayanti iti vyutpattehe. So they are able to bring about iti karanat atra vibhavayanti iti karanat vibhavaha heto panchami. So adavadhu alambanat sthayi bhavaha vyajyate, uddipana vibhavat sthayi bhavaha vyajyate. So that is why vibhavayanti ebhyaha iti karanat ete vibhavaha. Analda and the ebhyahangardu panchamiila vardu vibhavayanti. Is that okay? The next one is Anubhava Shabdam that we will do next class. So, yeah.